The Economic Exchange is a podcast dedicated to explaining how money shapes our lives. We cover economics, business, entrepreneurship, investing, government policies, inflation, unemployment, taxes, global markets, and why countries become rich or stay poor. Every episode turns complex economic ideas into simple, interesting conversations that anyone can understand. Our mission is to help people make smarter financial decisions by understanding how the economy really works.
Welcome everyone to the Economic Exchange. I'm your host, Ogezo Dlamini, and before we even get into today's video, I want to tell you guys something. Money moves the world, it makes it go around, we see it, we know it, we hear it, it's everywhere. Alright, it's everywhere. Money makes the world go around. Nothing to say about that, it's there. But let me ask you guys a question. The viewers, you guys. Do you know how it operates? Do you know how it moves? Do you know who controls it? Do you know how it affects your daily spending in your daily lives? Well, that's what we talk about on the Economic Exchange. We also talk about big industries, businesses, simplifying economic topics, and making the economy hard to ignore. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Today's topic is going to be, why is Africa rich but still poor? This one is a very controversial episode and a very controversial topic, because the first time I heard this, which was like 2 years ago, I was shocked. I was bombarded when I heard this topic, because when growing up, I thought Africa was poor, like dead poor, because looking at the TV, looking at TVs and TV shows and everything, you see America thriving. South America, North America, Europe, Asia, they're thriving. Like, those places are thriving. But when you come back and look at African countries on TV, you see poverty. That's all you see, because that's what they want you to see. Africa is not poor. Africa's not poor. Africa's rich, but in minerals. That's the problem. We are rich in minerals, but in living status, it's bad. Our living status, it's bad due to high inequality. It's very bad. Today, we're going to look at 4 factors that's stopping Africa from being a developed country. Just 4 factors. It might sound like those factors are just too small, but these small changes can make a huge difference in our African economies. Number 1 is the resource curse. Now, I never knew this one until like 3 months ago. The resource curse is when a country relies heavily on its raw materials, on commodities and all that. For example, let me make an example, just an example. South Africa relies heavily on gold. Now, this can be a very, very lucrative thing, because when gold goes up, our currencies go up, our economy goes up, everything is up. Like, it's nice. It's very nice, very nice. But what happens if it crashes? Because gold is very volatile. It's very volatile. It up and down, up and down, up and down easily. Even on the foreign exchange market, up and down, easily. Easily. So what happens when it goes down? When it crashes? Well, the government, also the parliament, it crashes. Our government crashes. Our economy crashes. Crash. So why are African countries relying heavily on their resources, on their raw materials? This is bad. If African countries still rely heavily on raw materials, they are in trouble. They are in huge trouble. You can't rely heavily on your raw materials. You can't. You really can't. Because if that keeps on happening and those raw materials happens to crash on the market, it's over for your countries. Chai. GG's. Good game. It's chai. It's over. So this factor is stopping Africa from becoming a very, 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 very developed continent. Africa could be a huge continent, like the best continent. We have We are the second continent with the most people. We have lots of gold, diamonds, oil, and everything. The problem is we rely heavily on those things. We shouldn't rely heavily on those things. That's what you call a resource curse, when a country relies heavily on its raw materials or commodities. We shouldn't rely heavily on raw materials. We shouldn't. Number two is our educational system. Yeah. Now this system has failed us. This system has failed us. Hate it, hate me, don't hate me, doesn't matter. Hate me for saying this, don't hate me for saying this. The truth is, this educational system has failed you and me. It has failed us because while the world is developing, the educational system is not. It's staying the same for some reason. It's staying the same. Tell me why. Tell me why they don't bring subjects like mining to school. Why? Why are some schools still using 2013 textbooks? Whereas there's new information coming out at least every 2 to 3 years. 2013 textbooks. Is that proper? Is that proper for a country that wants to develop? For a continent that is trying to be the best continent on earth? Is that even proper? No, tell me, is that proper? It is not. That is not proper. How are we expected to be a very smart country or a very educated country if we are using textbooks that's from 2013, and that's mostly for governmental schools? Why? Why is it because we are saving money? We can't. We can't. Right now, from my perspective, the government is treating this thing like a business. They can't. We really, really can't. I don't know if there's some corruption in there or what. They can't. They really can't. They can't do this to us. Making us use textbooks from 2013. The textbook thing, I see it. Alright, let's push it to the side. But yet, why do we still have the same subjects we had in 2017? People might say, oh, 7 years, 12, what? 10 years, 15 years, not a lot. What? 10 years is a lot. 10 years, 11 years, it's a lot. Why don't we have subjects like mining in high school? In governmental schools, we rarely have subjects like agriculture. We rarely have subjects like coding, IT. And AI is the future. AI is said to be the future. But we don't have subjects like that. We only have CAT. We only learn HTML, how to develop a website. AI already took that job. Why is it still there? AI already took web development. It's gone. You don't. Please tell me that. Let's be honest. Would you pay a website developer to design a website for you, whereas AI can make it faster and easier and better than the website developer? The smart answer is no. We will never. Me myself, I won't. I won't. I will never pay someone to do it for me, whereas I can get a artificial intelligence to do it quicker, faster, and better. Our educational system has failed us. It should be including subjects like maybe medicine in high school. People might say, children won't understand. That's the teacher's job, to help them understand those subjects. That's why they go to a school. That's why they learn how to teach, to help these children understand those things. That's their job. Now, this hurts me a lot. Why in high school don't they include subjects like mining? Because every African country uses mining as its backbone. Mining is the backbone of every African country. We see it, it's there. Why? This educational system of ours It's one of the major factors stopping us from becoming a developed country. Not a country, sorry, a developed continent. A developed continent. Our third factor has to be exporting raw materials instead of finished goods. Now this one hurts me the most. Why is African countries exporting raw gold without even processing it properly and creating jewelry? Now let me tell you how African countries export their materials. Let me make an example with gold because it's a very easy example. So let's say I have a bar of gold, 1 kg. Just an example, 1 kg of gold. Maybe this much. It's not that heavy, it's heavy this much. Right? So, and a European, maybe England comes and says, hey, I want to buy that gold from you for 2,000 pounds, for example. Just an example. And I'm like, okay, give it here. Here's the gold. But yet, I want the royalties on that gold. They're like, done. They take the gold, they give me the money, I get the royalties. People might say, hey, that's a fair trade. Royalties is good, it's good. They make back that money so fast that they can come back in months. In 1 month, they can come back and order a large quantity of gold because they make it back so fast. Jewelry sells quick. Why, you see, I can make a watch out of gold and I can sell it for millions, whereas I only get real raw gold, and only get thousands. Why? Why aren't African countries exporting more finished goods than raw materials? Well, I did ask myself that question when I found out that Africa does this. And it's said to be that opening factories that process these materials is expensive. That's what they say. They say the government says opening these factories, it costs a lot and they can't do it. They should find a way. They should find a way. If they can take out loans to cover this and that, then of course they can take out a small loan just to open factories to process these things because they will make their money back. It's guaranteed they will. They will make their money back. They will. They don't tell you, but they will. They will. That's why I say this thing of the government treating these resources as businesses must stop. They're treating us as a business. The South African government makes 2.001 trillion rand in tax, just taxes. So why can't you build these factories to process these raw materials and sell them for a higher price? That's what we do. We send the raw materials to America there. Then we buy the jewelry when it's finished for a higher price. Does that make sense? Make it make sense. It's not clicking. For me, it's not clicking. I don't know about anyone, but for me, it's not clicking. And last but not least, corruption and the fourth and last one. This corruption line, this resource one touched my heart. And the fourth and last one is corruption and weak institution. Now, corruption is stopping many African countries from being successful and developed countries. No country in the world or no continent in the world will ever succeed with corruption. With high level of corruption, what do you expect to get? You expect to become a very developed country? No ways. Never in a million years. No. You can never become a developed country or a very developed country with high levels of corruption. With high levels of corruption, I'll keep dreaming. You'll draw that development. You'll draw. A country cannot develop with corruption. We see it, we know it. We see it in South Africa. South Africa used to be an economic powerhouse. We used to have the biggest GDP in Africa. Now we fell. Apparently Mauritius has a bigger GDP than us. Kanjani, how? Our currency used to be the biggest currency in Africa. We used to at one point we were stronger than the dollar. Do you know that's a huge achievement? Now we're like what the dollar is $1 16 rand. £1 is like 23 rand. The euros like 25, 24 rand. Oh what? Mm-mm. One dinar, one Kuwaiti dinar is 63 rand. The last time I checked. So we fell. We fell. I say it's due to corruption. It is due to corruption. Not what I say, but the facts say it's due to corruption. How can a person pay 500,000 rand for a tender where him himself doesn't even meet the minimum requirement? Let me give an example. John Construction Company. John has 5,000 workers, 20 trucks. He bids for a construction tender on e-tender, right? So the construction tender is worth 100 million rand, and the minimum requirements are 800 trucks, 20,000 workers. John doesn't even have that much money because he only makes 1 million per month in revenue. In like a year, he makes 12 million in revenue. It's enough. Like, it's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's minimum. He tries. He's doing his best. Now, here's where corruption comes in. John bids. He sees that he's not gonna win this. He calls his friend who's regulating these tenders in the government and says, "Hey, there's this tender I'm bidding for, and I hear that you're regulating it. Now, how much must I pay to get this tender?" The official says, 500,000 rand. John pays it. Doesn't even hesitate, just sends. And he gets the tender. It's not even meeting the basic minimum requirements. So, how are companies expected to grow, to be big, if corruption is happening here in African countries? Africa should be the best continent on earth. But it's not. It's not. Like these factors, these factors, like they really touch me. They touch me a lot because when discovering Africa's rich in minerals, if it was maybe, for example, if the USA or South America, North America, those continents had the amount of minerals we had, there'd be super powerhouses. They'll be huge. We would never catch up to them, never in a million years. But yet we have the minerals. We should be having a plan for our continent. We should have a sit down as African countries and find out how to stop corruption, how to advance our educational system. But we don't. We don't. Of course, yes. There's I think it's once a year where I'm not sure it's how many times, but there's once African countries, they sit down and have a talk and discuss what's the plan for African countries. It's not bad. It's a start. They're doing good, but what I'm saying is these countries must stop this corruption and everything. Like, why don't we include forex in our educational system, since it moves 6.7 trillion dollars every year, more than the stock market, which only moves like billions. So, yeah, these topics hurt me, and the problem is there's nothing we can do about it. It's all up to the government. What we can do is only suggest. That's why I say these political parties such as ANC, they've been in charge for how long now? Since 1994. Where's the change? Where's the change? Yes, we no longer are under white rule. Ye people, hooray! But where's the change? They said they're going to bring a better change, a better South Africa. I don't see it. I don't see it. I can only see me living in a wipe supper place. Yes, that's nice. Thank you. but I don't see the change. I really don't see the change. So these are the factors stopping African countries from becoming superpowers. Yo, guys, there's nothing we can do about it. It's all up to the government. And I hope the government sees this video and tries to give us a better Africa, because we deserve a better Africa. We deserve a better Africa. So yeah. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notification button, and share. Yeah, these topics touched me a lot. Thank you for watching, and please comment. Tell me please comment if you have any comments about the video, the quality, and anything. Any criticism is constructive criticism. Any advice is good advice. Thank you.